Hello everybody out there in the Commonwealth, it's Maze and we're going back into Fallout 4. We're taking a look at part 1 of melee mods that make the Commonwealth just a little bit more fun. From medical supplies to famous movie weapons, so these are going to be good. Guys, if you haven't already and you've watched before, make sure you guys please subscribe. If you do that, I'm going to say that you're awesome and I appreciate it. Thank you. So maybe you're like me, you're getting tired of all these big weapons. So you want to find out what the great melee weapons are? Listen to Arnold.
Stick around.
And the very first one we have is going to be the most devastating melee weapon in all of the Commonwealth, and that is the Crutch. The Crutch, Fallout 4 New Vegas Crutch by ShimSham000. The Fallout 4 Crutch breaks limbs with no regard for proper medical procedure, and the mod author says the moment all have no doubt been waiting for, the release of the Fallout 4 New Vegas Crutch. You can use this to cripple limbs of others while ignoring your own well-being. And what kind of madman takes a crutch and turns it into a weapon? I don't know, it's the Commonwealth, guys. And this weapon, it looks good. It's silly, it's ridiculous. You can find it in a lot of the different medical facilities throughout the Commonwealth. It's not overpowered, but the crippling effect is pretty good. Look at that, it takes out turrets. A couple hits, you see they're limping around just a little bit, and you just keep going at them. And like I said, this is not an overpowered weapon at all. It is nice as a melee weapon though, to get the little bit of extra bonus to critical damage. That way you can slow them down and then just beat them again with the crutch. Beat them in the back, in the head. It doesn't matter. It's just a crutch. You gotta do what you gotta do. You need to go hunting? You want to save your ammunition? That's fine. This weird looking guy, is he a sailor? Is he a postman? I don't know. And those pesky raiders as well. The crutch is always gonna come through and make you happy. Alright, so now you've decided that you're going to use the crutch, but even with the crippling effect, you're having a little bit of problems. So that's why I'm going to recommend to you the M84 Flashbang by 2 Unks. And this works really well. You're just going to go ahead, you're going to toss it out there, and the flashbang can blind and paralyze humans, Synth Gen 1, Synth Gen 2, super mutants, and up to 20 other enemies found throughout the Commonwealth. This flashbang is a lot of fun. The area, the radius on it is pretty large. The stun is relatively small. It's 2 to 3 seconds. You still have the ability to control single or even groups of mobs to set up your own plan of attack. And to get your hands on this nifty little flashbang, you're just going to head to the chem lab, you're going to go to grenades, and you're going to click on M84 and craft it. This is probably the newest mod, I believe, on the list. This just came out. It looks cool, it works good, and it makes the game it makes it a lot more strategic, and it's pretty fun. Busting into a room, tossing that flashbang out there, and heading into combat. So we have our flashbang and our crutch in hand. And let's be honest, the crutch isn't going to be a good weapon to use for very long. The next melee weapon is the Fire Axe, a standalone melee weapon by Cooler Than the Coolest Guy. And for such a damn cool guy, he sure makes one hot weapon. This axe not only is a fireman's axe, but it's a standalone fire axe melee weapon that also starts fires on contact. This axe comes with 2 different modifications. Looks like there's a comfort handle and heating coils. The heating coils are what's around the blade of the axe that cause it to start fires on contact. It does a base damage of 18, so it's around this, a little bit higher than a machete, but not as high as a sledgehammer. And the heating coils that start the fire add an extra 15 energy damage, and it does damage over time. The weapon could be located in Cambridge Police Village. Once you hit level 7, you'll see it at vendors. It's also been injected into the leveling list, and if you're still not running into it, the player add item code has been posted on the Nexus by the mod author on the mod page. And this is a pretty cool one. I like it. It's neat how they catch on fire. Mix this with the flashbangs. You just bust in, run in. The speed on it's pretty good. The animations on it are pretty solid. The grip on it is pretty good. I like it. I really like axes, and I think fire axes are a good addition. Now, there are other fire axes on the Nexus. I've tried a couple of them out before. This is definitely the one that I prefer, and I think it's just the fire effect and how it lights up. I think it's super neat, and definitely something that I'm probably going to be keeping in my load order from now on. I mean, just look at it. It's a fireman's axe. It glows. It lights people on fire. Badass. And we're going to stick with axes for right now. And this is another relatively new mod coming out just last September. And that is the Proton Axe by Rad Beetle. And Rad Beetle describes it perfectly as he says, it's an axe and you hit things with it. But this comes in 3 different variations. You have the Proton Axe, which is the normal 2-handed. You have a 1-handed single blade Electron Axe, and you have the heavy hitting 2-hand bladed Neutron Axe. These come in different colors, the original coming in orange, the 1-handed coming in green, and the large Neutron Axe coming in purple, but these are all interchangeable. And at the workbench, you can actually change the colors between 10 different variations of blue, green, orange, pink, purple, red, white, yellow, rainbow, cayenne. So you can switch these up. You can make them look however you want. All versions of the axe will deal extra damage to anything that is a machine. To get your hands on one of these, though, they are not going to be injected into the level list, and the mod author specifically says that none of these weapons are added to the level list or vendors. They're intended to be moderately unique, and then in real small parentheses he says that, and I can't really see raiders or gunners toting these around. Maybe the Brotherhood of Steel or Rust Devils would make a little bit of sense, so maybe in the future we may see these put into the level list for people of those 2 factions. He goes on to say that perhaps they were sold to merchants that made their way over through trade, or maybe there's something to the rumors about Poseidon's energy works on weaponry. Regardless of how, there's a single example of each of these weapons to be found around the Commonwealth. And they just look super cool. I love them. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be picking these up in my next playthrough. But maybe you're not an axe guy, or maybe you're just tired of these not overpowered modded weapons that I went ahead and showed. So it's time for one that is completely ridiculously overpowered, and that is going to be Anotherone CyberOut 77 by Glorious Warrior. You're going to start off by heading over to Swan's Pond, and the best way to do it, you can see there in the picture, but just look for the little tank. Head inside the red door there. You're going to go in. The bottom of the museum is pretty much trash. There's nothing down there. You're going to go upstairs, and you're going to locate the trunk, and inside of the trunk, you're going to find 25 conserved blades. And this confused me for a second because I was searching through my inventory, trying to figure out, I thought it was like a box of swords or something like that, but it's actually going to be located in your miscellaneous tab of your inventory, and this is going to be used so that you can craft. And this is going to give you a pack of swords and katanas with animations inspired by Cyberpunk 2077, and these are first-person animations. They sound cool, it looks good, it feels really nice. Third-person animations are still going to be the default Fallout 4, so this is definitely a weapon that you're going to want to go in first person, and with the bloodshed that this is going to cause, you're going to want to be in first person anyways. I mean, look at this. You put it over your shoulder when you run, and this is probably the most, this is actually not even probably, this is the most overpowered melee weapon in this mod video. Just one hit, decapitation, it's taking out pretty much anything that I want to take out. Nothing's going to stop me. Oh, there's a turret in my way? Well, guess what? One hit, boom, done. Oh, he's getting ready to ambush me? Sneak up behind him. A bear? Ah, not gonna bear that in mind. Take him out. 3 hits, maybe 4, maybe 4. So let's test it out on something just a little bit stronger. We got a Mirelurk Hunter. The very first hit takes away up to 30% of his health. But you know what? As overpowered as this sword is, It just looks so cool. It feels so damn good, and it is a lot of fun running around just slicing people down. So if you've ever wanted to be that super stealthy assassin samurai ninja who has the ability and precision to take people out pretty much with one hit of your sword, this is gonna be the mod for you. And the final mod of the video, the best melee weapon to make the Commonwealth just a little bit more fun, at least to me personally, is the Predator Knife by Chrislore 2882. And the reason that I'm saying this is because I love how this knife looks. As a kid, I had the toy of this knife. I think everybody on the block had a toy of this knife. My brothers did, my cousins did. We had our names carved in it. I love the look of this knife, and playing around with it a little bit in game, I absolutely love it. It's not all that overpowered. It's balanced as the Discipline Blade, which you receive from Nuka World. This is not included in the level list because he wants to keep it as a more unique item, so you're going to have to craft it at the chem station. It has 6 different textures. It also has a Horizon patch in the optional files, so this is something that you can balance if you want to play Horizon. I play a modded version of Survival that I kind of make my own. I do love Horizon and all, it just gets to be way too much sometimes. But that is the option if you want to do that. But again, I just love the way this knife looks. I love how it looks in the game. It feels really good to play with. Absolutely love it. I hope you guys loved all the mods. We're going to do a part 2, and it's going to be more melee weapons to make the Commonwealth a little bit more fun. You guys, I'll see you in the next video.